Good afternoon and welcome to TalkSports. It is our Saturday sports special. A warm welcome to one and all, wherever you are. Well, I say warm. I like to use the word warm because I know, for many of our viewers, it's sort of warm, right? Yes. So good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you are, right? And welcome to TalkSports. It's our final program for December and 2025. Let me say good afternoon to my co-host in, should I say cool? Yeah, in Toronto, Mr.
Say,
Sylvan.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to say it. Cold Toronto. Say it as it is. Cold, snowing Toronto. So yeah, say it as it is. Certainly, it's a pleasure, Michael. We certainly had an amazing year. When it comes to the last, it's always it's not farewell, but saying stay tuned. Just certainly so much happening this year, and we had our followers with us week after week after week after week, and we just want to take this opportunity before we do anything to say thank you for your loyal supporters. For being with us throughout the whole year. Just surely a pleasure, having you guys on this journey with us. And we just really want to say thank you.
Yes, I agree with that. And I also want to say thank you for those who have been our loyal viewers, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Who have stuck with us over the past year. By and large, we have tried to have our program almost every week unless it's on, we can't really have it. We normally we'll take a break for,
definitely.
For probably the Easter, we take a little break for the Easter, then we take a little break for the summer, right?
Yeah.
And then we're taking a break for the Christmas, the holiday period. A lot of people from this weekend, they start getting busy, getting themselves organized for the shopping and all these sort of things.
Yep.
Mr. Sam, good afternoon to
Edwin.
You. Sam,
good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Mr. Sam. He says he's loving the show.
He's loving the show. It's making you ready. I'm not too sure if you're in New York or not. I don't know.
Oh, I am.
That shirt is not saying New York shirt.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the color of the shirt. Don't be fooled by the color of the shirt. I know. I probably tried to give the impression I was somewhere in some tropical island or something like that, probably beach or whatever it is. So probably is a wishful thinking at this time. Yeah. Certainly, Rudy, and we'll get into the meat of our program momentarily. But it has been a pleasure, with folks, being around for the year.
Certainly. We had some great people on our program. There is not one special than the other. Each one of them, was unique in their own way, and they deliver messages that the people needed to hear in their own way. And certainly, it was good. Certainly, there were, like I said, there was no, this one is special than this one. This program was better than this one. No, everything was unique in its own way because it delivered the message which we start out to do and which we want to give out to the messages. We ask the questions and they answer the questions. So surely, it was good. It was certainly good.
Yeah. What else? It has been quite a bit for the past few months. What it is you will say you enjoyed, Rudian? What it is?
The most. I'm certainly, when it comes to sports and a whole, when you're listening to information that we need for the region, especially for Grenada, and we have the folks coming on and giving us the information. That's the key thing, is getting the information firsthand, or we take someone's point of view of a situation, and we always say it's their point of view, or we always say it's our point of view. facts we don't have all the time, but we just give our point of view based on how we see things, so, and we tend to say that we never come with facts that this is how it is. No, we say it's our point of view. It's what we think, and that's the way to go about it. But truly, Michael, I think the best part of it is just being with you. Certainly, you are a great host. You're a great man. Just being with you, I'm laughing and just talking sports. Listen, when you talk sports, it's an honor. Certainly it's an honor. Every time we talk sports is an honor. So if I have to put, to say what's a good one for me, I know this year we had a great athlete on with us, and it's always a pleasure having him, which is Kirani James. When you speak to him or when you have Kirani James, it's always a different feeling because what he has done for us, for track and field for Grenada, but sports on a whole. Just really sports in a general, and not only, yes, he do track and field, but just when you hear sport, you hear Kirani, he's in the mix of that. So certainly it was a pleasure, having him on and talking to him. And I know there will be more, talk with him, but he certainly was the key one, especially, this year receiving his doctorate. Receiving that DR after before his name was certainly something special to have, and you get that opportunity to show it. Certainly, that was amazing because when our athletes can go, this wasn't for him; it was for sports in Grenada. It's for every athlete, everyone who come before him and those who come after him. That's what really that was for, to show that yes, we can do it. Yes, it's possible. So, and that's what we want to teach to the young people. That's the message we want to send out to the parents who is listening, to pass on to the kids at home. Yes, they can, and yes, it's possible.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, and it's something we have been trying to highlight over the past few years. That the sort of encouragement, in particular for the young ones. We have tried to, by and large, stick with trying to inspire, as we'll say. The young ones in particular.
The young ones. Yeah.
In particular. Yeah. And
And
that has been primarily our goal, right?
Yeah.
And I think we have been encouraged by the folks that we have seen over the years. Not just seen those we have come in contact with. We have over the past few months, we have spoken to so many people of different aspirations. Yeah. In fact, the sportsmen, the sportswomen, even administrators.
Yes, certainly.
For example, we had Atto Bolden, for example. I always
Atto Bolden. That was for sure
a very good one.
And for Grenada on a whole, we had the Minister of Sports. That is certainly a big one, and then having her on. So that was surely was important as well.
Yes. As usual, and the important part of the program was the interactive segment. Where views of so many people. Whether it's Roger, Edwin, Claire, Chenny, just name them. We have been able to do that. Chenny is saying happy holidays to the best Grenada sports program host and co-host. Let me salute your efforts and look forward to 2026. A special year for sports, Chenny. We do hope so.
Yes.
And, Kyron say final show for the year and lots of interesting episodes this year. We are looking forward to the same energy and impactful sports discussion in 2026. Certainly.
Most definitely.
Theo Duncan, she's saying good afternoon, blessed weekend. Thank you very much. Yes. Some great guests in 2025 were Mike Sands, Kirani
always, yep.
Jamaican guy, I forgot his name. Unfortunately, the host did not invite me in 2025.
Jenny, 2026 is your year. So, certainly.
Late in the year, Chenny, for this kind of show, right?
But if you don't say it, he's not Chenny. We love you, man. We love you, Chenny.
Theo, thank you guys for this program where we learned so much about sports. Certainly, we appreciate Theo. And I'm nominating Inel St. Bernard for impacting and inspiring young basketballers in Grenada. When we look back on what he has done for basketball over the last year, it's amazing. Thank you
Certainly
very much
true.
for that input,
We have no,
Kyron.
certainly. I can even certainly we have seen this. We have seen some of foreign NBA players coming to Grenada that make a difference, and that's truly. I agree with that. That statement. 100%. That certainly made a difference, and we have seen the difference, and we hope for growth in the sport more.
Yes.
And I think that was what we needed for the growth to happen, and I think we will see it more and more. And I think basketball will come back across Grenada as it was. In my days, Pascal, in your days, and in some of us days, some of those who are watching days, when basketball was a big thing. I remember basketball on the Sutter's hard court used to be rampant, and that was basketball. That was fun, and then that's surely we'll see that coming back and seeing it in school, because everything starts in school, and hopefully from school it can expand.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our wish. That's our hope, as we will say, and we look forward to that. So what we will do, we had, and thank you, Kyron, for adding another category. He called it impactful player, impactful, person for 2025. So that's another one we can add and start off with. Thank you very much. And I think deservedly so that Enel has really shown, and we're hoping that we'll see more of that in 2026, right?
Yes.
Edwin says, for people like me in the diaspora, this program has kept us in the tune with the important aspect of sports throughout the Caribbean and Grenada in particular. Can't wait to see what 2026 is like. Thank you both for keeping us informed. Maybe we will get Mr. Lincoln Toro Deputy from the Republic of the Carnage, or the Wharf, as we'll say, to do a full segment. Why not? Yes. Kenny says, some local personalities to be saluted includes Leo Coffey, or let's say Lee Coffey. I think it's Lee Coffey. Stanislas, Kendall Simon, the entire Volleyball Association and the Grenada Swimming Association. Thank you for your input, Chetty.
Thank you.
Right. So what we'll do, we will probably start off, Rudian, with our choice, because we had Rudian and I had a discussion, and then folks, listen, that's our choices rather. You can add after. You can put what you think, and it's no problem, right?
Yeah.
You can,
always say you can agree or disagree.
Well, so and people can, and that's fair. That's what.
That's fair. Yeah, we're just going based on what we think and what we feel.
Yeah. So we'll start off with what we believe was the. I think the first one was the. Help me. Was it the Association of the Year?
Association of the Year. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we will. Let me see if what we can do first. We probably can. We will probably take a couple of comments and things like that. And then
let's see what our audience. Let's start the roll with our audience and see what the Association of the Year is.
So we will what they say about the association, and then we will probably come in and put our what we had agreed on, and remember, we didn't go with all the categories. We just highlighted some categories. It's good that Kyron came up with
I think this one is something
impactful. Yeah, which I thought
the most impact person of the year. Maybe something we're gonna add on that for next year for sure. We're gonna add on to that. Yeah.
Add your various categories. Yeah. So that's fair enough, right? Whatever you think was what you believe was you know was your decision or what you think. Folks, listen, we are not the only voice and air of sports, right? You also had a role to play because you were mainly,
A part
the
of
major
this.
spectators,
Yes,
things like that. So
listen, Michael, they
okay,
are a part of us.
so
They are a part of everything
so
going.
so yeah. So Chenny is saying swimming followed by the new volleyball association. Okay, all right, Chenny. Chenny is saying that.
All right.
So fair enough. So the TalkSports end of year recognition and observations, as we will say, as we come to the end of 2025, TalkSports we are using this opportunity to celebrate achievement, to recognize excellence, and highlight progress across the Grenadian sport over the past year, despite ongoing challenges, but importantly, notable successes that deserve acknowledgement. So first off, Rudian, let's go with what we consider to be the association of the year, right?
Yes.
What we had agreed is that our association of the year will be the Grenada Football Association.
Association.
Yeah.
Certainly.
We have concluded that the Grenada Football Association is the association of the year. After careful consideration, TalkSports has selected the GFA as the top sports association for 2025. There's little doubt that the GFA outperformed its peers this year, particularly in the areas of grassroots development and
Yeah.
competition structure. The association must be commended for its sustained grassroots programs, and most recently, the revival of the primary schools football tournament in collaboration
Yes.
with the ministries of sport
Of
and
sports.
education, right? And by the way, and this primary school tournament has been absent for quite
Many
some
years.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
Importantly, the season is closing. That's the GFA season is actually closing without any major controversies, right? And a key indicator, as we'll say, of sound administration and improved governance. And for these reasons, the GFA is fully deserving of this recognition. Rudian?
I agree. But before I talk about that a little bit more, I want to talk about my second choice a little bit, and that was swimming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we
the
had
Swimming
swimming
Association for year after year has performed very well, and even winning this year's competition that was involved in. We are extremely. I am extremely proud and happy to see swimming, and I say that because they are performing at a level, Michael, without a swimming pool. I mean, at least without a Olympics, size swimming pool or aquatics for them to train at. So that is an accomplishment on its own. Certainly, that is a big accomplishment on its own. So you have to give them kudos for what they have been doing and what they have been done. Um, However, we certainly see GFA and what they have done for youths, grassroots, um, girls, women's soccer, playing international games and playing. Then we see what happening with our men at home. Never lost a game on home soil. And we see what the achievement coming. That's why I see GFA to be the association of the year. based on those views that I have, and certainly I don't know if you the same thing for you, Michael. I know you speak of some of the things that I said, but certainly I don't know if it's the same thing for you.
Yes, I agree that we have agreed that the GFA, deservingly so, is being recognized. And then, as you say, folks can disagree, but that's fair enough. They may have reasons why. Chelly, for example, said that the Swimming Association, we looked at the Swimming Association, and over the years, swimming has topped our Association of the Year.
Yes.
Right. For the past 2-3 years, Swimming Association has been there. There have been a number of improvements from some associations, as rightly so. I would say, like the volleyball, they're doing some things. We would like to see from others. And things like, and the in terms of what has been achieved. In terms of the football for this year, we thought that the football, went above and beyond.
Above and beyond, yeah.
The grassroots programs in terms of, and by the way, it's not perfect. A lot of work to be done, but we believe what they have done for this year.
They're on the right path.
Of
they're on the right path. Right? Yeah, they're on the right path. Yeah.
So that's the Association of the Year. Our next category,
and just go before I go again. I want people to understand. For year after year, one of our biggest thing with swimming is the same. Well, I always be the same answer here is that they are doing so well without a swimming pool. They are doing so well without an aquatic center. They are doing so, and it's always the same thing over and over. And we have seen their accomplishment. So we're not trying to take away from that, like I said. But certainly, we look at, they are doing that and improving the same way, but we see another association have stepped up, and we certainly acknowledge that as well.
All right. Our next category is Club of the Year, Club or Team of the Year. And our choice is the St. John
Sports.
Right? St. John Sports.
100% agree.
After many years of perseverance, St. John finally captured the GFA Premier League title, doing so in emphatic fashion. They completed the season unbeaten. In fact, the only team to achieve that feat this season, right? Their success brought pride and excitement to the parish of St. John, and they were narrowly denied a historic double after falling to their neighbors Hurricane in the final of the Wagiti Super Knockout Football Tournament. Nonetheless, their season stands out as one of excellence and consistency. Congratulations to St. John Sports. Rudian?
Yes, I agree with that. For a little while, paradise was paradise.
We have not heard of paradise yet.
Yeah, and there was that super team in a sense, not in terms of stars, but in terms of performance-wise. The accomplishment over the years has been amazing. But this year, we have seen a different club step up, and that club is the St. John's Sports Club. And moving forward, I really do believe we're going to see more clubs stepping up in terms of their rankings from where they are to another level. And I'm excited, man, to see the change in football in Grenada. It's almost going back to the old days, the excitement in football. So surely, St. John's for sure.
All right, so St. John Sports is our choice of the Club of the Year for 2025. The GFA Premier League title and the beaten finalist in the Wagiti Super Knockout Football Tournament, and they played unbeaten in the GFA tournament, winning the Premier League. St. John Sports have not won the Premier League in a good bit of years, I can say. I can't recall when last St. John Sports would have tasted top tier football in terms of championship.
Football. Yeah,
in terms of championship. Our Our next category is Parish of the Year, and our top performing parish for 2025 is the Parish of
Yet again.
St. John.
Yet again.
Parish, they captured the Premier League Championship and also won the primary schools football tournament through the St. Peter's RC. Notably, listen to that, featuring one girl in their lineup. So even though it was the boys that were playing, they had a girl in their lineup. She played, right? They won, which to me is a positive sign for development. Also, St. John's, they were the runners-up in both the secondary schools football tournament and then, as you said, the Wagiti Super Knockout Tournament. Clearly, sport in the parish of St. John is on the rebound, and all indications suggest growth beyond football, because I would say watch out for them in athletics, also in basketball in the future. Congratulations, St. John.
Yeah, I agree with that. Everything that you said, Michael, on that. We have seen the growth. Once again, St. John's always, has great athletes and great clubs, great, sporting endeavorment. But this certainly, this year, we have seen a change and we have seen them take another level. So, yeah, certainly.
Right. So, congratulations to all the, when they see that. And by the way, while we talk about that, who would you suggest to be a close, well, I shouldn't say a close, but a second or runners-up to St. John in terms of parish, top performing parish in Grenada? I want to say St. Andrew could be
one. I want to say big parish. Yeah, I want to say big parish.
Could be one. Yeah, and then to another extent, probably St. Patrick, right? But St. Andrew, and St. Andrew, so too will be because of its participation in, well, and because of the size too, right?
The size
could be because they basically have most of the sporting activities
taking place
in the parish, but that's not fair to the others, right? Right. It's not fair to the others, right? So, for example, a parish like probably St. David, right, that primarily cricket, and now we have some football, right?
And then we have the track and field.
Right.
Track blazers, right? Yeah.
Right. When you compare that to, let's say, the parish of St. George, where just about every sporting activity to take place, whether it's swimming, whether it's table tennis, whether it's badminton, just name the sport, right? So you can't really give a complete gauge in terms of that. But at the same time, we must commend the achievements of those in the parish of St. John in particular for 2025, right? They have done, and I'm saying beyond football, though football excel in terms of St. John Sports winning the Premier League, finishing second to in the Wagiti tournament. They also won the St. John's also won the primary school, the National Primary School Football Tournament through St. Peter's RC, right? Beyond that, we are seeing a rebound in terms of track and field. We've seen a rebound in terms of basketball, all of that. And this, to me, it augurs well for the parish.
Parish.
Yeah. Our next category now is the National Team of the Year. And our choice for National Team of the Year is the Men's National Football Team.
Yep.
They earned that recognition as the National Team of the Year. Their series of home friendlies produced an unbeaten run, reflecting growing cohesion, confidence, and competitiveness at the national level. while results in competitive tournaments remain the ultimate benchmark, the progress shown in 2025 is encouraging. My hope is that they can take that beyond the shores of Grenada
to the next level.
Hopefully, we can see them qualifying in regional and international tournaments. Congratulations to the national men's senior football team. You will agree?
Yes, 100%. I agree.
And I think second to that will be the national swimming, the swimmers, right? Second to that in terms of team of the year. Again, in terms of regaining the OECS, swimming championship. But it was just a one.
If you have to add team, Michael, I could also
no, it's national team, eh?
Yeah. I could also want to add track and field. And I say track and field in terms of the character team. For the coming third at the character games. I know it's certainly we have seen an improvement in medals, because medals is the one that really gets you to that level. And that I think was a phenomenal team. And we have seen the performance there. So certainly it will be up in there. When when swimming go out and play, I expect when they go out to compete, I expect them to do well. But when you see, the track and field go out there and get to that level, you have to give the credit to them, because it's almost they're going against big bad Jamaica and the Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago, and they're going against some really tough teams who come in to take the title, and certainly if they perform to that level, that was to me was a phenomenal team. So that just
so we can add them.
Add them to that.
Yeah, but our selection for the national football team was the consistency over a period of time.
No, national team. I was just talking about in terms of a second team kind of thing, not necessarily taking in.
But I agree that the character team in terms of notable achievements, these sort of things like that. So in terms of national team, along with the swimming and things like that. So yes, I want to add the character team in that. Our school of the year.
I have three, Michael. So but I don't know what you go, and then I'm gonna tell you me. Yeah.
So let's put up what we had come to in terms of our consensus, and then we'll put the others in consideration. Here is our school of the year. Right. Our school of the year is McDonald College, and it's kind of topsy-turvy because a lot of people can argue what is the basis of again, that is our determination, right? So we decided at the school of the year, McDonald College. Listen, 3 out of 4 titles, and then finishing. The selection is based on the school dominance, right, in football, having captured 3 of the 4 available titles during the year and finishing runners-up in the 4th. So they almost won all 4, right?
Yeah.
Right? Their program continues to set the standard in secondary school football and deserve commendation, right? We can argue about track and field, whether it's intercall, whether it's that. But the argument here now is that it wasn't just one. It was almost 4 titles. 3 in, almost 4. 3 titles, right?
And if you want to add until you could say 4 finalists.
Well, no, obviously,
like you lock it in. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just saying, right? Yeah.
If they're the beaten finalists in the other one, finishing second, it means that. So But Rudian, I give you the opportunity to put in the others.
Let me add on McDonald College too. Yes, it is my school. It is the school that I bled maroon. Certainly, they are competitive in all other sport that they play. Um, so it's not just because yes, they win the football. They are competitive in cricket. They are competitive in basketball. They are competitive in netball. They are competitive. So definitely, I think that is seeing that accomplishment. Certainly, Magna College will certainly get the School of the Year. Um, Another school I wanted to add on that list was SAS, and I wanted to do it for same football, but for the girls' football because they did a hat trick. They won 3 consecutive years, and certainly that is something I wanted to Um, I think they're not top tier. Magna College will get a 10 and they will get an 8 um, in terms of that, but acknowledging that school as well for the girls football team and the accomplishment they have accomplished over the years, and to see football growing in out there in St. Andrews. And another school, I'm going to add on that, Michael, that'll be GBSS track and field. And they are the only program right now I'm seeing that is focused, ready. When they set their mind to win a title like Intercall, they go for it, and which is what they have done this year. They set their mind. They had their meet early. They had their team put together when no other schools had their team yet. No other schools don't have a clue what the team was going to look like. GBSS had an idea. There was at least 80% concrete on the school team before January because of the school meets that they had all in the year, and they came and regained that title. Work hard for it, and they certainly regained the title. So GBSS will be in there. So certainly these are my 3 schools, with McLeod College, SAS Girls, and then GBSS with track and field.
Right. These are so. I will say that. So McDonald College as our top school. And then we also included that of the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, SAS, the girls, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
the Grenada Boys Secondary Schools in terms of track and field.
Track and field, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So those are the 3 top schools that we came with McDonald College because of their consistency in terms of just
the championships, the titles.
The titles. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Thank you very much. So we move on to our next category, our International Performance of the Year. Well, International Performance, we use Anderson Peters for securing the silver medal at the World Athletics Championships. Once again placing Grenada firmly on the global sporting
stage. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Certainly I agree with that. 100%. Yeah.
Right. So Anderson Peters, as you say, continues that. We don't move on to another category, sports ambassadors for Grenada. Andre Fletcher, Afli Fletcher, Kirani James, each continues to represent Grenada with distinction on the international stage, serving as role models, standard bearers, and ambassadors for sport and country. Rudian?
100%. When we talk about Andre Fletcher, playing out there in cricket, as cricket is one of the biggest sports, and seeing the flag next to your name, it certainly is. It's an honor to see, and he represents very well, and he's a well-respected man. He's very lovable, and he carry that flag on his back wherever he goes, as well as Afi and definitely Kirani. There is no question about it. Certainly, it has been good.
And particularly, well, you when we mentioned Kirani James, you had a point. You made a point there that you were saying, his consistency over the years, even
Yep.
in just being in competition
Yep.
at his age, being in competition and remaining competitive, right?
Yep.
And doing it with some level of pride,
For
being
pride.
his thing
Yep.
is about
Yep.
representing the country, not so
Representing
much.
every
It's
time.
not so much
Every
about
time.
winning now. It's not so much about
No.
winning now. It's all
It's about
about
the flag.
representing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I want to
Yeah.
to agree with that. And so too, when you look at Kirani in terms of his age and his competitiveness in the sport, when you
Yep.
look at Andre Fletcher and Afri Fletcher in terms of the age and competitiveness in the sport as well, right? You cannot. These are not folks who just started yesterday. These are folks who have been competing for probably the last 2 decades, right?
Yep. Yep.
When you look at it in terms of that, right? And
And
they're
they
still
make a difference on the world stage.
well,
They are
and
making a difference. It's not just being there. They are making a difference and they're making an impact.
listen, and they're making an impact, and they're
Yeah.
still representing and competing as if they started probably 2-3 years ago.
Yep. That's the way they look. That's the
Almost
way they play.
youthful, right? So we want to recognize them and congratulate the Fletchers and Kirani James. Andre Fletcher, Afi Fletcher, and Kirani James. And our final category of what we have saying, right? Our folks, you have your own that you can do as well, is that as of Administrator of the Year. And our Administrator of the Year is Mr. Marlon Glean, the President of the Grenada Football Association. Mr. Glean has demonstrated astute leadership and steady guidance over the past year, presided over a season marked by organization, reduced controversy, and improved program delivery. It is hoped that he will build on these strengths as the GFA continues its development. Rudian?
I agree. Certainly, we have seen what he have done, and we have seen the performance. And if we has GFA as Association of the Year, it has to have some sort of strong leadership for that to happen. And certainly, Mr. Glenn has shown that. And like I said, with continuance what he's doing, we could see the future for football in Grenada. And I think he's going to leave a legacy where those who come after him will also follow in the same type of footstep to make football grow in Grenada.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rudy. And folks, yeah, that will bring it for the end of our administrative year. But however, we have some special acknowledgements that we have to make, right? We decided that Hurricane, the winners of the Wagiti Super Knockout Football Tournament, right? We need to recognize them for that.
Yeah.
St. Andrews Football League champions, listen to that. They are the champions of the Grenada Football Association First Division, promoted to the Premier League for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Right? St. Andrews Football League. They playing.
Yeah.
They'll be playing Premier League football in
Premier League.
2026. Right?
Yeah.
They also won the Under 15 tournament, the GFA Under 15 tournament. Then another team is Honved. We used to call them Honved United. They are the runners-up in the first division, and they will be promoted to the Premier League again. For probably, they have not played Premier League for probably another 30 years. I mean, it has been a long time.
Long time. Yeah.
So these are 2 teams that will be going into the Premier League that have not played Premier League football for probably the last almost 30 years. Also, special acknowledgement, we did mention earlier, the national swimming team, they continue regional dominance and also regaining the the OECS title in 2025, so we must want to recognize them and
have to recognize them. Yeah.
We also want to recognize table tennis, a sport clearly on the rebound. The local officials deserve commendation for their revival efforts. More work is needed, but progress is evident. Likewise, we want to recognize the Volleyball Association and also the Grenada Chess Foundation. Their continued development with increased school participation, a positive sign for long-term growth, right? The chess, Grenada Chess Foundation, well, Federation, let's say the Federation, we call them. So chess, volleyball, table tennis, among those we really want to congratulate. At the same time, Rudian, we have to call out those that are not really, and those that really need to do something, right? Netball hosted the OECS International Tournament, but since that, we have not heard anything again. And one of the things that we really will hope that netball do, the Netball Association accomplish in probably 2026, is ensuring that the sport is played in the outer parishes as well. There are competitions in the outer parishes. Netball used to be played in St. John's and St. Patrick.
Yes.
In fact, I can tell you that a number of our senior and of recently national netballers came from the parish of St. Patrick, MacDonald College, I know. Whether it was Cullion Blood and Cathian and a host of those folks that came from the parish of St. Patrick. So netball needs to get its house in order and ensure that netball is played in the various parishes. Listen, netball is a cheap sport as well, right? It's a cheap sport, basically, it's a cheap sport. It's not like cricket with, and golf and all these sort of where you have to get all these equipment and things like that. So netball is pretty much a cheap sport. So they need to get their house in order. Another association, Rudian, is the Boxing Association. Now, let me give you that story. This whole thing about the boxing, which we had covered over the past 2 years,
yes, we did.
Apparently has not been settled, right? Boxing is still in a quagmire because we have two associations, right? Two associations. And we know what has happened recently where the International Olympic Committee has recognized the new, they are recognizing the new International Boxing Association. So what was there before is no longer recognized, right? They have asked their affiliates, their national associations, to recognize associations that are now affiliated to the new boxing federation. While others have done it, it appears that the Grenada Olympic Committee has failed to recognize the new boxing association called the Boxing Association of Grenada Incorporated, BAG Incorporated. In fact, BAG Incorporated is the only boxing association in Grenada now that has been doing any program for the last 2 years. The current association has not been doing anything. All they've been doing is that the officials have been traveling to meetings, but no development programs, no tournaments, nothing like that. So, and I'm calling out on the Grenada Olympic Committee to, in the interest of the sport, in the interest of the boxers in Grenada, to do something about the recognition of boxing and which association, and based on the mandate from the IOC, that they fulfill that mandate and to ensure that boxing returns to its rightful position. Okay? Boxing. And it's a shame. Again,
yeah, totally. I agree with that.
And we're hoping that other associations really the other associations, they put their house in order, and in 2026 get serious.
And even going back to netball for an example, Michael, we have seen now netball where they have an opportunity to make some sort of money. There is leagues out there now, and so when every time there's an opportunity, and in the near future, we might see netball in the Olympics. In the near future.
Well, we have netball in the Commonwealth Games, eh?
And netball in the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's starting to move, and we've seen how big netball is in England and Australia and South Africa and those places. And those places, netball is a huge sport, and we've seen Jamaica now have a league, and so there is. And if you don't start putting this and giving those young and then netballers an opportunity, then we lose out.
Yeah. So that's true. And another observation, Rudy, and as infrastructure development continues, which we have noticed. Throughout. Attention should be given to the lighting systems at the Cuthbert Peters Park, and I was told also at the Al St. George Park, with urgent focus on the Al St. George Park in particular. Proper lighting remains important for safety, for the extended usage, and the community sport development. I understand that.
And even adding on that too, not necessarily lighting, but adding on even the Sutter's hard court or the Sutton basketball or netball court, which you call it, should be resurfaced. And which we talk about netball previously when they talk about now we had a tournament in Grenada previously where that tournament should have been across Grenada, or at least identified 2 or 3 other parishes where games could have been played. It was only in one segment. When you have something so big like this, big tournament in Grenada, and it's only playing in one location, and they probably had a reason for that, but it's always good to know. We don't want to say anything. We only speak in our point of view. That to spread it across Grenada, to spread it around, so other people can be a part, especially supporters can be a part.
That's provided that, and that's why it's important for the association to start ensuring that it's played across the island, so that in the event that you hosting tournaments, you can play them in
different places.
Right. You don't want to bring a sport where no one knows much about it, or and these sort of things like that. So it's important that you upgrade facilities as well. I'm talking about upgrading facilities, Rudy. And look at this.
Yeah.
This is the tennis court. This is the tennis court in Tantine, the Tantine tennis court.
We want to talk about last week,
Yeah, that's the Tantine tennis court. That's the condition of the Tantine tennis court, folks. We have to do something better than that. And I'm talking about a court that has brought and has basically some of our top tennis players in Grenada have been able to, that's a closer look. That's the condition of the tennis facility in no, we have to do better than that.
We have to do better. Right? We have to do better, and we have to do better, Michael.
2026, that the folks will take a look at this. That's the condition of the and I'm talking about, those are photos that were taken between
recently.
Well, between yesterday afternoon and today and this morning. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So this is the condition of the Tantine tennis courts, folks. Now, and we're talking about, a facility that used to host regional and, to an extent, international tennis tournaments, right? Yeah.
And Michael, for tennis to be such a big sport now, and it was before, but we're seeing the growth of tennis now. Certainly, it's something that, like I said, everyone wouldn't be playing football. Everyone wouldn't be playing table tennis. Everyone wouldn't be playing basketball, netball, or running track. Somebody's want to play, the long tennis. Somebody also want to do the volleyball. So, like, everyone is not going to play every sport, but kids, young people have talent in so much other areas, and the facility do matter. We listen in our days, Michael, when we doing our stuff, we would have played that because that's what we have. But we are in a better place today. That they should be provide better for them. It's no longer like we used to do. You know, so, I mean, we go to a soccer field, you have three pair of boots. Before, men play with either no shoes or play their running shoes. That's and then they were phenomenal soccer players. Today, these young kids, them have 3-4 shoes. They can pick and choose what they want.
Yeah. While we're on that, Rudian, folks, Rudian, I think you should be having yours very soon. I know some of the folks already have theirs. Let me just show you folks that
I should have, Michael. I have a red cup. I should have been happy. I know.
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail. Yeah.
Folks, this is our coffee mug for TalkSports, right? You know, sometimes we have to do what we have to do, and I want to thank my good friend Andre Campbell in Florida for ensuring that TalkSports
have the cup.
Its own coffee mug.
Yes.
And that,
T-shirt is coming soon. So everything is coming.
And that my fans, my viewers, our viewers can really get one, right? Thank you very much, folks. So TalkSports coffee mug. Look out for the cap and other memorabilia in the coming weeks.
Michael, I want to add a category just before we go. And I want to add an athlete of the year. Just quick discussion. I know we were seeing FIFA give the female athlete of the year, and I think it was the wrong person. It's my opinion.
Is your opinion of a lot of people?
I think Melissa Jefferson should have been a female athlete of the year. I think it was well deserved based on for what she has done.
Yeah,
because she was steady. And I said steady and consistent. When I was saying, I think it's only Prophet Roger is the only one who said, I think he's the one who says she's going to win the 100 meters and the 200 meters because, he's the prophet. But, when we were saying, boy, she's running too fast, man, I think she's gonna hit peak too soon. That never happened. She was consistent and getting a double gold medal plus the 4x1. I think she should have.
Yeah, well, I mean, hands down. I mean,
hands down. If
it was surprising.
If McLaughlin broke the world record, then yes, that world record been sitting for a while. She did not. She came close, but the world record wasn't broken. If she did, I would have said yes. But an athlete, Michael, I want to acknowledge as my athlete of the year. This is my athlete of the year, or my athlete of the last decade, if you want to put it this way. Female athlete for me for the year would be Shelly-Ann Fraser. And for seeing athlete, we talk about the age and coming back and performing still to that level and still finishing up with a medal in her own terms. I really, that was certainly something to see. And a lot of people, like we said, didn't go there to see the 100 meters, the 200, even though those are excited. They wanted to see Shelly-Ann. They wanted to see her. They wanted to see her one more time.
Yeah.
And I think that was good. And for the male, for me, and a world globe will be Lionel Messi. Adding another trophy to his 40-something that he has already. And I think, the performance that he has done for Inter Milan and seeing, what he's doing with the hope, like we said, next year could be the end of it. But I know he did have a 2-year contract or 2 more years or so with, with Inter Milan. Not Inter Milan, but Miami. So we might see him for a while, Inter Miami. So we'll be seeing him for a while, but just for the performance, for what he has done, and still playing to this level. They're just my only 2 for the year. And my disappointment for the year. My disappointment, Michael, was almost my excitement in the beginning of the year, because my disappointment in the end of the year is I am not seeing a functional parish sports council happening.
And
because of the budget, but a lot of stuff you can do without knowing what the budget is. But I have not, and I don't know if you have, seen anything concrete that the parish sports councils in different parishes has done to certainly make a difference for sports in that parish. And that's one of the biggest disappointments for 2026.
The Parish Sports Council, listen, is something that we spoke about, Rudy, and we had expressed some concerns. And I'm glad to see that despite some of the challenges, for example, the Caracou and P.T. Martinique Sports Council, they had an activity, I think it was a week ago or so. They had this walk.
That's good. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was speaking to a member of the Sports Council, and I was saying, commending them for that and saying, listen, there are so many things that can be done and not just the Caracou and P.D. Martinique Sports Council, but I was just talking about generally, because it appears that folks just wait for things to happen. I ask myself, what is said when you go to a meeting? You have meetings. I assume you have meetings. What it is that is being said? I mean, I can't be in an organization going to a meeting and no recommendations, no suggestions, no projects. I mean, I'm coming to a meeting. I want to suggest something. I want to suggest we do this or we do that, or somebody suggests that, and I say, hey, why not we work on this? So my thing is about why are so many of these councils? What are they waiting on? Because some of them waiting on fund, right?
Certainly.
Or to get funds, it means that you have to provide or produce a project or something.
A project, yeah.
So tell me that you produce this and somehow you didn't
get nothing.
Or you're just waiting for funding to appear and then you do something because we have some funds. Yeah. No. You have to. So, for example, I was saying, hey, why not the parish sports councils revive the sports quiz, for example. We used to do the Brain of Sports quiz many years ago when we were in radio, right?
Yeah.
It was Ray Roberts. I was involved. Trevor was involved. Pele Dabo. Quite a few of us was involved. We were involved in the Brain of Sports quiz, right? At the time, it was sponsored by the Grenada Bank of Commerce and other sponsors. But my thing is that something like that, the parish sports councils can probably have a parish sports quiz among the schools, for example, right? You can get either the sponsors in the parish, or you can ask the schools themselves in the parish to assist somewhere there. So, for example, look at probably St. John or St. Mark. They don't have that many schools, so it's easy for them to coordinate. You can say, okay, we have how many schools in the parish of St. John? 2 secondary schools and X amount of primary schools. Let's have a quiz among the schools, and then probably include St. Mark's because they only have 1 secondary school. These are the sort of things I'm saying about the low-hanging fruits, right? But you need people with the thinking. And this is just one suggestion. There's so many other things they can do. Independence celebrations is coming up, so that could be a good thing you can have for to mark our independence.
To mark something down.
Schools quiz among the schools in the various parishes, etc., etc. But you need people in these councils who are thinking, who are progressive, and not just, okay, I was selected or elected in some instances, and I will just attend the meeting and just listen.
Sit back.
Yeah, just listen, and and something on my shoulder because I'm a member of this, a member of that. And that's a problem.
And I think that's what it is. To me, a lot of them is just to have a title next to the name, and it's sad to say it, but we have seen it, and we hope. I really thought the days of that was long gone, but it seems like I think people just want the name of something, and there's so much, man. Like Michael, I said to you, man, that I was so excited for this because this could be a game changer.
Well,
in sports in Grenada, and it still is, and it still can be, and I think it still will be. I think for sports, and where you will get to a point where other countries or islands in the Caribbean will come and ask you, "What are you doing?" You will get to that level. You could get to that level where they come and say, "What are you guys doing?" And they want to take a piece of what we're doing.
The question is, Rudy, and it was raised by my friend Ray Roberts sometime last week when we were having a discussion regarding, the interests of young people in sports and things like that.
Yeah.
And how we can get those folks to be part of the process, and why it is that in some instances we find, as they complain, the same old involved in associations, etc. And part of the problem is what we're seeing there, because we are hoping that the young folks, and in most cases we say, okay, give somebody else a chance, give somebody else a chance, give others a chance, but you're giving people a chance, and it's almost
nothing.
It's almost the same thing,
Michael, I prefer to see somebody be there for 100 years, but things are happening, than being there for 100 years and there's nothing. If you are doing good, stay. If you are making a difference, stay. But if you're not making a difference, give somebody else a chance, or seek advice, or seek help. And I think that's what it is too. Sometimes they have that pride that they don't, which is things that they don't want to do. And so sometimes you always feel the wrong person becomes something. The wrong person become the president, or the wrong person become this, and then nothing happens. So
on the other hand, Rudy, we have those that you make way for others to come in, and they come in and you're disappointed, And here the thing I was thinking about today, Rudy. Folks, and just as in sports, it's probably in politics as well. You are on the outside and you believe you have the answers for everything. Right? And what folks are failing to do is have some sort of risk analysis of certain things. So, for example, and use an example, you will plan to fix all the roads in your constituency. What is the risk analysis in terms of when you get in there, whether there are funds available, whether this, that,
or not?
So you make the promise that you will fix all the roads. But when you get in there, you realize, hey, it's not possible.
Can't do it. But here's my problem with that. Tell the people.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
That is my problem.
I'm saying that to say that, hey, you should be telling the people how you plan.
Have a conversation.
And not only that, I blame some of the people because you should be asking them. Oh,
you should be asking those questions.
How do you plan to do it? What are your plans?
I agree. Show me your plans.
So what have you done? What have you researched in terms of, so whether it's football, volleyball, whether it's government, whatever it is, what research have you done to know that when you get in there, and if you do, how you plan to do it and how it will be executed?
How to be executed?
How? So
how? I use St. Patrick's for example. Use St. Patrick's for an example, and you have the sports councils running going around. Have a town hall in Shantimel. Have one in Rose Hill. Have one have a town hall. Listen to the people. Tell them your plans of what you want to do and what is the meaning of the sports council for the parish. Listen to some of their advice. And then when you put all the stuff together, you're going to say, okay, this is what the people want to see. This is what the people want to see. This is what the people, and because in the end, if somebody wants to see something, you hope that they will support it.
But hold on, Rudian. It's not everything because
it's not everything. No, it's not.
You might need, and out 50 of those people, 50 of them might have different things that they want to be seen. They want done enough.
But at the same time, you may not have to, but you also have to be a leader at the same time, because that's what people also looking to have to be a leader. Yeah.
So you need consensus as well, right?
You need consensus as well. Yes.
You need consensus as well, right? And that comes with leadership and all of that. So you can take from the people what it is they want to be done, what needs to be done, and then you can have what you do the risk analysis and all these things. You do priorities in terms of what will get priority over the other and things like that. So, and then you can have this conversation back and forth with the people so that they can understand. So Rudian will understand that his suggestion is not something that is forgotten. It's just that it's not something that
we could do happen right away. Okay?
Yeah, because it's more important to get this and that and
to get this first. Yeah,
but Rudian will,
and especially when you're talking about sports, Michael. Yeah, no, especially when we talk about sports because sports is also like a season thing. So in this season, somebody might talking about basketball, but you kind of not in basketball season, but you're not giving up on the basketball. But you might be in a season of cricket, so you kind of have to, dive into it. But not telling them, hey, we're not forgetting basketball, but because we're in this season, we're kind of focusing on that, and then we're gonna slowly, more of the attention could be on what is in front of us now, and then continue on. But they have to be able, Michael, to reach out to the people, and that is my big, like I said, so much can be done without waiting for the budget to come into thinking that you need money to do it, or waiting for the permission from you. Already have the permission already. They really put a team together already. The ministry trusting you guys to put you in a position. So they trust you to continue on, and those are the things that should be happening. Like you said, I didn't know of Carico doing something last week, and those are the things we're talking about. A start. These are the things you can do without I need permission from them to do it. No, you don't need permission to do that. These are things you can do right now, because that is something that is important. If that could be your agenda for health and wellness, so you do walks, you do exercise for not only for the young people but for the elderly, because sometimes they need that.
Yeah.
So
for 2026, we're hoping that these things can change. Definitely.
We're hoping that there will be a change. But 25 was a disappointment. Like I said, I was excited for it, and I didn't see it. And that was my biggest disappointment when it connect with sports in Grenada. That was the biggest disappointment. Everything else was a success with the best of their ability. And I also wanted to give kudos to the Ministry of Sports and the present government, for we have seen the involvement in sports. We have seen the involvement in sports, and especially one is with the government help, almost a back-to-back hosting the Caribbean Games, almost back-to-back. As you could say, and that don't happen without the government help. I don't think any country could run a games to that level without government help. So kudos to the government and kudos to those. Yeah.
Some comments there. Edwin is saying I had coffee in mind this morning. So Edwin received it. So that's good. He's also saying that even Faith, Rudy, and when you were talking about the athletes of the year.
Faith. Yeah. I remember I was saying on here, I wanted to see her. She was one of my biggest person I really wanted to see in this year, to see can she break that record, because her accomplishment, man, has been beyond. She has that name Faith for a reason. One of my daughter's name is Faith. So that name is a good name and a powerful name. But surely that was one I wanted to see for the year. And like I said, they know how they make the selection, as well as they know how they do the stuff. But these are some of those we have to also talk about.
Clever saying Caribbean Games tickets up until this point is not on sale. I'm left wondering why. Well, we can't very much.
We don't know.
I've asked the association. Well, the local organizing committee. They did say that they will have some information. I'll probably raise it to them again. It says 2026 awareness expansion of the Grenada Masters Athletics Association. Well, guys, listen. I mean, I'm telling you all, folks. I have asked you all about talking about the program and things like that. So, and at the last minute, your folks kind of pulled out. I just wish you all the best. I too hoping that expansion in 2026, but that's much I can see. That's much I can see as well. Yeah, Clev, regarding the character games, every time the issue of tickets and other things are raised, I bring it to the attention of the LOC. They promise that it will be addressed, and nothing is being done. So I don't know what else to say. A bit disappointed myself that with the sort of momentum we got from we believe we got for the launch, by now going into Christmas.
Yeah. At least have something.
Tickets and all these things should have been, because I recall when in 2024, when we hosted the character games, there was a little more momentum going into the new year regarding all these things. We were not really asking about all these things, but I don't know what. And if most of the people who were there in 2024 is around for 2026, I don't see why we having all this delays and things. If there is, then let us know. If there isn't, then But I don't know. I keep mentioning it to the folks at the LOC, and they keep saying in a few days or next week. With every program, we're still raising the same issues over.
The same issues. Yep.
Rudian, let me just say right. Let me give you a little hint of what I'm doing. Yeah, I hope it's lighting and things like that. So as TalkSports signs off for 2025, Rudian, you recognize that progress has been made, but some consistency. Consistency, accountability, and collaboration. They remain very, very important. The consistency, accountability, and collaboration. We celebrate success where it occurs. We also would like to encourage, improvement where needed, as we said in the case of the football, the GFA, and look forward to stronger, more structured sporting landscape in 2026. We look forward to that. Definitely. But from you, on behalf of you and all of those viewers, we want to say Merry Christmas to all, Rudian. Right?
Yes, certainly. Michael, there is a just before we go, there is a big football game happening today, and I'm just thinking here, and I'm thinking of something that big can be in Grenada, and that's the Army versus the Navy. One of the biggest football game in America, excluding a championship game. Those two games are huge. Yeah. And that's in Maryland at the Bank Stadium. M&T Bank Stadium, and that's going to be huge. I'm pretty sure it's sold out. We're talking about military personnel, future military personnel. That's huge. For Commander in Chief, Commander in Chief certainly usually attend, and we know we're talking about the president. And some, a lot of dignitary and so forth are always going to be there because that's big. And them two are always a rival, even though they are on one team, if you know what I mean. They are the Americans, so they represent America wherever they go. But two separate things, and that's huge. And I'm thinking, GFA, I'm calling you out, and to put and maybe it's not them to do it, but I'm just saying, to see our university and our Tom Sisi have a football rival like this and make it something annual. The university and to see Tom Sisi put a football match together like that, or a soccer match together like that. certainly that would be something special to see. At the National Stadium, you have university kids coming out, you have the Town City kids, and it'd be nice to see a football game like that and turn it into something annually.
Mm-hmm.
Your college and the university. It'd be nice to see.
Again, Rudian, what we need people with the progressive minds who are thinking, who are looking at how to develop, and all these sort of things like that. So that is what is needed. So just as how you're thinking about that, I think sometimes people are afraid to do things. Sometimes they wait for things to happen, and then what you hear, oh, I was planning to do this and I was planning to do that and things like that. So, hey, there's no reason why you should be afraid or attempt to do something. You have something, hey, boldly say, here's what I want to do. I need partners, I need this, I need that, and I think it can work. Look at how it can be refined, etc., etc. We make mistakes at times, and we regret certain things that we have done, how we have done certain things, etc., etc. But there's no reason for you to sit, because what we do have is a lot of critics. So someone will come up with an idea, and you will get 1,001 reasons why it cannot happen.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is.
We're not getting
listen.
How you can, or how you can.
I mean, I'm watching this, like I said, the Army and Navy, and I'm pretty sure before they get there, I don't know how long this rival been going on, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of issues and situation prior to that. Many people say no, it's not going to work. Many people there have been so much fight amongst each other. I know there's so much of it happening, but
what happens over a while, Rudy, is that it will evolve, because every time you have one, you find ways of how it can be improved, or it can
improve, right? Until you get it where you want it.
Yes, but that is the important thing about it. We have to move away from where people just sit back and just criticize, but move to the point where we can see how we can enhance, how we can make suggestions, how people can throw in ideas and things like that of something. Somebody can take it and go with it, make it work, and then we can just see how we can enhance it, how we can improve on it. Then you come up with something and you find there are more critics than people who trying to support it, or to modify, to enhance it, to say, hey, do you know something? This is a nice idea. It can work, but probably X, Y, Z. You don't have to be X, Y, Z. It might be A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. You understand?
The
fact is, with those sort of suggestions and things like that, so it will only add to the improvements, and things like that. So we have so many critics. Everybody criticize, everybody this, everybody that. But what else can we say, Rudian? We just hope come 2026, we see an improvement in the landscape for sports in particular. We're just hoping that whatever it is, as we say, a more structured sporting landscape in 2026. Get more people on board. One of the things, as we said again, we want to see an improvement in the sports councils, the parish sports councils in particular. They need to start working. Independence 2026 is just around the corner. This is something where they can work on in terms of having some activity.
Yeah, definitely. And there's there's so much things, Michael, like we talk about, so much that can happen, man. They just need, and they also have to willing to sometimes ask for help or ask for advice, and that's really what it is. That's the most important. Yeah, that's the only thing, because there's so much can be done. Almost every field in Grenada now is lighted. And we talked about it before. That was never done before. Now it's lighted. What are we doing with it? It doesn't mean we have to go to playing football no 10 o'clock at night. No, it doesn't mean we have to go that. Because it's light, that means, football game have to start at 10 o'clock at night. No, it doesn't have to be that way.
So William, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What if I am a member of the St. Patrick Sports Council, and we both of us are members, right, of the St. Patrick Sports Council, and I come to a meeting and I say, Rudian, I just say in the meeting, guys, what's about us? Probably next Sunday morning or next Sunday afternoon. We're just using timeline. That we have a fun walk. Get people out, walking from Shantimel or wherever to Satels, and just folks getting out and walking, right? The old, the young. We're not running, we're walking. A fun walk. Yeah. And it's something we can have probably starting next Sunday afternoon, but probably once a month we have that, for the next few months, bringing people out and walking and things like that. So all we need is probably have folks. We wouldn't really, because we lack folks to walk with the water, right?
Yeah.
We probably may have at the end in Sotels, we'll have a couple of bottles of water. We can ask whoever it is to sponsor some water and things like that. So at the end, people can have some refreshments, water, whatever it is you want to. But generally, if people walk in, they'll walk with the water, right?
With the water,
It's not a run.
It's a walk.
It's just one walk and things. So I throw that on the table, Rudy, and would you support it?
Of course, 100%. And I already, you talk about it. I have ideas already. It just pop in my head right now. Hey, okay, let's.
That's what I'm saying about going to meetings and coming up with ideas. Table and get the support of your folks and little things.
And it's funny because somebody might say, Shantimel is probably too far. Can we start a little bit closer or level end? So there's all these other little things that can come about.
Hold on, but you can start in Shantimel.
That's what I mean. You can start and end somewhere, Yeah.
And then the next edition, which is next month, whatever, you can start somewhere and end somewhere again.
And then somewhere else. Yeah. Always.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say, Rudian, that here it is that we can go to meetings and make suggestions and come up with ideas, little things that will make a difference. This is not Rudian's or Michael's suggestion. Ultimately, it will be the Parish Sports Council, the St. Patrick's Sports Council, hosting X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I don't know. Rudian, listen, we can only wish the best for 2026.
That's all we want. We just want the best. We just want to see the growth for young people, the growth for the sports, and the name Grenada continue flying. And people could say, this young man is from Grenada. Man, those people from Grenada is this. And let us get to the point where people could come and say, hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing the people is, what is it you guys doing? And that's the way we want to get to, because, at one point we need to go to Jamaica. Let us go to, and I say, why do we need to go to Jamaica? We can do this. And those are the kind of mindset you want to have in that sense, right? You understand what I mean? You have to get to the point where we say, let us go to, what is Grenada doing? Just as when some people say, let us go to Jamaica and see what is Jamaica doing. Well, understandable, you understand me? But you kind of want to get to this place where we can build our sport, have academies. It is time for us to start thinking of academies, build academies, have an academy in Grenada for us. If it's 2 sports, academy for 2 sports, and start with 2. And you could have an academy for 4 sports later on. But you don't have to need the whole of Grenada. All you need is maybe 10, 12 athletes that could make a difference.
I agree. Yeah.
And suddenly let us move. And all we care about, we here to talk sports, but promote Grenada sports. Right. That's what we're here to do. We are not here to talk anybody down, talk about this and that about somebody. When you do something that we agree with, we tell you, we give you the praise. If we think we don't agree with what you say or what you do, we say. It's simple as that. We're not trying to say anything different, but that's what it is. So.
All right, and so let's just wish everyone
Merry Christmas and a happy 2026.
We'll be back in 2026 with our brand new program.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much and have a good one. Michael, we'll talk.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, then.
Bye.
Yeah. So that's my co-host Rudy and Sylvan in Toronto, and we want to wish our viewers and all our participants Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2026. We return with our program for 2026 in January. We'll give you the dates, and certainly we look forward to another exciting year of sports for Grenada and the Caribbean in particular, but particularly for TalkSports in 2026. It has always been a pleasure to you. It was as if it was just yesterday. You are saying, "Welcome to 2025." Well, we are about to say welcome to 20. We are saying goodbye to 2025 and preparing to welcome 2026. Thank you very much, folks. All the best. Until then, do have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.